So has Bass really found a way to take Boyd Duckett's pipe dream and turn it into a reality? Or is it just lipstick on a pig? First, yeah, I know. Everybody's video come out first. Well, anyone can regurgitate from a press release, right? I called the powers that be at Bass and several anglers so I could kind of weigh everybody's feelings on the whole situation. Here's what I come up with. Now, for those of you who haven't yet heard, Bassmasters made a massive announcement this morning, arguably the largest in their storied history, when they announced that starting in the year 2025, the Elite Series events, well, they're no longer pay to play. Yeah, you heard me right. No more entry fees for the Bassmaster Elite Series starting in 2025. Now, what this means is that Bass has agreed to put a whopping $4.1 million of their own money back into the coffers to cover the entry fees for every Elite Series angler for the entirety of the 2025 season. Now, on its face, this brings Bass Elite Series anglers one step closer to what they've always wanted, to be seen on that same elite status as other professional sports like baseball and football that aren't pay to play, to be seen as true professional athletes. Now, Chase Anderson said they've been looking at a model like this for quite some time, but they also needed a model that was going to be sustainable for the future. Think about it. $4.1 million is not a small chunk of change, and when it comes to professional bass fishing, if it goes south, could bankrupt any tournament organization. So yes, Bass is taking over the financial responsibility of all the entry fees for the 2025 season. But what's actually coming back out? I mean, at first glance, it looks like they might have finally won the war against Major League Fishing by doing what Boyd Duckett promised but was never able to finally pull off. But upon further review by the replay official, the anglers aren't as happy as you might think. See, during the 2024 season, the final spot to get paid out during an Elite Series event was 71st place at $2,500. Now, in the 2025 season, the payouts will stop at 40th place and a whopping $500. You heard me right. That's a loss of 31 spots paid and 80% less for that final spot. Yeah, you heard me right. You could almost stand to win more money at a club derby than coming in 40th place during an Elite Series event. And that's part of what has the pros I spoke with today having mixed feelings about this whole thing. Some are optimistic at the thought they're not going to pay entry fees, and others, well, they're kind of worried. And knocking out those 31 spots at $2,500 a piece really puts a hard limit on how much an angler can make during a tournament season. Now, remember when you got your first job sacking groceries down at the local grocery stores? Did your parents remove your allowance altogether, or did they severely limit it? Well, see, this is going to have kind of a lasting effect between the pros and their sponsors, because at $45,000 they're not having to pay in towards entry fees is going to be $45,000 that the sponsors feel like they don't owe their pros. Now, according to a source at Bass, the delay in announcing this huge change hopefully gave most of the pros a chance to go ahead and sign their 2025 sponsorship contracts, giving them a bit of a cushion before any repercussions kick in during the 2026 season. Now, besides the big ticket item that we've already talked about, there's been a few other changes that will be implemented starting the 2025 season. For instance, the payout spots during each Elite Series event of 11th through 18th will be increased. In the Angler of the Year race, second place will now receive $50,000, with third through fifth place also cutting checks. And now the Day 3 cut line for each Elite Series stop will be 40th place, representing the last payout spot in the tournament. So at the end of the day, we have to ask ourselves, is this plan actually sustainable? How will the anglers respond once the shock finally wears off? Has Bass finally found a way to end the Bass versus MLF war? Or have they sealed their own fate? Victory or lipstick on a pig? I guess only time will tell whether this is a big hit or a big flop. Do me a favor, put in the comment section what your opinion is. Do you think this will play out well for Bass, or do you think it's going to be a nail in the coffin? Anyway, I want to thank each and every single one of you for being here today. Please do me a favor. Like, comment, share, subscribe, even think about becoming a member. But until next time we meet, get out there on the water and keep it wet.
Yo, it's a real tackle. Let's get to the facts. I don't sugarcoat nothing. I'm spitting the max. You think I'm holding back? Nah, I better step back. I'm dropping lines like